Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was February 1st, 2023, the first day of the new month. As you can see, as a result, we have new decorations and new things going on here on the channel for the new month, which is awesome. New members goal today as well. A new game that we tried today. So we have a lot to talk about tonight, all right? It was also my final consecutive streaming day of the week, and normally I would not be streaming on a Wednesday, but my wife's work schedule had changed halfway through the week. Said, okay, well then I will be here today for 7 straight days. What should we do? And so on the Level 1 podcast, we had a lot to talk about. There was a lot of game news that happened overnight. A lot of canceled stuff, a lot of delayed stuff, a lot of other things to talk about. Some good sales results for God of War Ragnarok. Just in general, a lot of interesting topics to discuss. So we did, and it was a pretty good show in that regard. And of course, talking about upcoming events and things was fun. And of course, taking a look at the new decorations. People really seem to like them. Just a lot of, positivity and stuff in general on the podcast. A good one today. And then we started up with more Dead Space Remake Endgame stuff. Although I say Endgame, we were starting around Chapter 6. Chapter 6. I think we were in Chapter 6. Or was it Chapter 8? It was either Chapter 6 or Chapter 8. But today was a really long segment. And I think Chapter 8 is the longest chapter in the game by far. There's tons going on. And in Dead Space Remake today, I definitely noticed some distinct differences from the original game. Notably, the Zero-G. The Zero-G stuff is so different from the original game where you can actually freeform float around. There was actually an entirely newly designed boss fight today that wasn't in the original game. It was totally different. In the original game, I believe you were actually piloting, controlling a bunch of turrets, like laser turrets, and shooting at asteroids at one part, and then later on, you were fighting a boss with them. Well, in this time, all you're doing is you're free-flowing in the Zero-G, and you touch buttons to make those turrets kind of go where you're aiming. So you're basically using giant weapons to shoot a giant boss, which is kind of neat. It's very different from how it was in the original game. And by the end of today's stream, we were in Chapter 10, and had the ability now to do a lot of the side content. We actually completed 2 different side content missions, one of which allows you to get the master key so you can unlock all of the doors on the Ishimura, and then the other one allows you to complete a side content quest line, which I will not tell you what the plot is, but at the end you get a really good rare item that I don't think was present in the original Dead Space game, if I'm not correct. I think it's something completely new for this one. So basically, it was pretty interesting because we were doing all this new stuff, and I was like, oh, kind of adds a little bit. But in general, it's still the same game. I mean, at this point now, we're like 15 hours in. Or is it 13 hours in? I forget exactly how many hours in we are. But it definitely feels like you're still playing Dead Space 1 with every once in a while a 5 to 10 minute departure somewhere a little different, and then right back on the track of Dead Space 1 again. So overall, am I having a good time with it? Yes, I'm enjoying myself. I'm still having a good time with Dead Space. However, admittedly, it's getting harder and harder now that we're reaching the end of the game to really justify a $70 price tag if you already played the original. Like, it really does feel like it's mostly the same game, okay? But we'll see as we continue on. Now, we finished around Chapter 10. The game has 13 chapters, so we still have 10, 11, 12, 13. However, I do remember that the final chapters are a little bit on the shorter side, and there is some side content left, but we're almost done with it. So I think one more major stream, we should wrap up Dead Space Remake, okay? Now, the late stream tonight was something completely interesting and different. It was me checking out a game called Hi-Fi Rush. This is a game that came out a week ago, completely shocking. No one knew it was coming out, and all of a sudden it was surprise announced and released on Game Pass. It's from Tango Gameworks, the people who had previously made The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo last year. It's completely different from those style of games. It's an action platformer, cel-shaded gameplay. Graphics, I should say, with gameplay where the combat is in tune with a musical beat. It's completely unique. I don't think I've ever played something that felt like this before, all right, with the kind of musical beats you need to fight with. Although, admittedly, does it feel like it's anything insanely innovative or different? Honestly, no. It feels like an action platformer that's like PS2 or PS3 era with better graphics, good, interesting writing. Some of it's a little cringe, but most of it's kind of funny. And, this music mechanic. The music is the best part of it, in my opinion. I played for 2 hours. I love the soundtrack, okay? Now, interestingly enough, all right, people showed up to check it out. The attendance was quite good for a late stream. The engagement was quite good for a late stream. The support was nearly non-existent, and I don't know what happened. Usually, if I'm doing something where there's engagement and people are showing up and having a good time, and I'm at least enjoying the game, usually support is at least half decent. It was actually the lowest supported stream of this year so far. It was one of the lowest supported streams I've had in months. I don't know why. It wasn't like there was an explanation for it. It was like the people weren't having a good time. It just was bad. And the thing is, I don't know how long the game is. We beat 2 stages. We beat the intro stage and the whole first level. So we basically beat 2 worlds. I think there's probably 5 more because there was at the moment at the end of the second level, this call opens up and it kind of shows 5 bosses. I think, okay, maybe those are the 5 remaining levels in the game, right? 5 levels for 5 bosses. If that's the case, and each level is 1 to 2 hours long, you're probably talking another 5 to 8 hours, depending, which would not be bad. 10-hour game or whatever for Game Pass, probably not bad at all. But I think it's okay. I'm not in love with it again. But I don't want to commit to a full playthrough if it's not something that people are convinced they want to see. Maybe people showed up just for curiosity purposes, and after seeing what it was, weren't too impressed, and that's why the support was so bad. I don't know. All right? I really can't explain it. Like, literally every other game this week did well. And on top of that, people seemed to be here for the stream, and it just didn't happen. All right? Not going to harp on it. I'm not going to freak out about it. Just making an observation. All right? So here's what's going on. Tomorrow, I'm off from streaming, okay? Tomorrow, there will be a new video upload to DSPGaming. I'm going to upload a video that's a side-by-side comparison of my original gameplay of Dead Space from 10 years ago. The one that I did the full playthrough of for Retro Replay. And I'm going to compare that side-by-side with Dead Space Remake. It's a really special video that kind of shows the differences in the intro and how things are done and some of the dialogue and, of course, the graphics. That should be fun. That's going to go live tomorrow on DSP Gaming. And then on Friday, it's another full streaming day. It's going to be Dead Space Remake's conclusion on the first stream. And we are going to do one more night stream of Hi-Fi Rush. If it does better, meaning if people still show up, engage, and will actually support the game, then I'll play it more and try to finish it. But if we have another night like tonight where basically, it's non-existent, we could do other things you guys want to see. We've got many games possible. We got 007 GoldenEye, which is on Game Pass. We've got the new SpongeBob game that just came out yesterday. We've got a plethora of games that came out in the fall that we could possibly check out instead. I want to do stuff that you guys want to see. It seems like all week you guys were interested in this. And then when I finally played it, I don't know what to say. I just went by feedback. So let's see what happens again. It's not that I disliked it. I thought it was all right. I'm not in love with Hi-Fi Rush, but I also don't hate it. I thought it was all right, and I would consider playing it further if it's something you guys want. All right? So let me know. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinion, but also, if you like it, I really hope you'll show up Friday and support it. Or, hey, if you're watching it on demand after the fact now, and, hey, you want to support it with a super thanks or a tip, that would be great. Because, man, it was the slowest stream I've done in a long time. I don't know what happened there. Okay? So anyway, again, I'm not here tomorrow. It's my day off. I hope you all have a great day. Be safe. Remember, if you watch anything here on DSP Gaming, remember to give it a like, possibly leave some comments. Even YouTube Shorts, which now are very important. YouTube Shorts are now supposed to be fully monetized. So if you're watching a YouTube Short, I get credit for it, which is great. Didn't used to happen until today. Yes, I did put out a new YouTube Short today. It was from NBA 2K15. Yes, that old of a playthrough. One of the funniest moments from my past. I hope you'll give it a look. Let me know what you think of that short. And like I said, new video coming tomorrow. And then I'll actually have another YouTube short lined up for you guys this coming Friday along with a full day of streams. Okay, guys? Thank you all. Great streaming week. Please have a good night. I hope to see you on Friday when I get back. And in the meantime, have a great Thursday. Sound good? Everyone, peace out. Have a good night. See you later.